Hi, I'm Cricket Azima. I'm here today asking for an investment of $275,000 in exchange for 10% equity in my company. Sharks. Artistic expression is so important for kids. Sharks, meet our little artists. But there's something very different about these painters. They not only have a big appetite for creativity, they also have a huge appetite for candy. That's right, Sharks. These little guys just made and ate their own art, paper, paint, and all.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm the founder and candypreneur of Cricket's Candy Creations, the #1 and original candy crafting experiential brand in the world. Our New York City studio is an immersive event space where imagination and creativity run wild. A wonderland where creators come and make candy crafts like edible slime, chocolate tacos, and more. We have candy crafting kits. We have 4 unique kits: edible slime, candy sushi, candy jewelry, and lickable finger paint. So come on, Sharks, who wants to sweeten the pot and join me on this candy crafting adventure? I'm going to ask...
Let's go. We are back with another Shark Tank breakdown, a reaction video. I am your host, Dave, a 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from patents, trademarks, copyrights, as well as trade secrets. Now, this is an interesting one. I must say, I actually kind of like what I'm hearing so far. I will tell you who else kind of like what I'm hearing: the dentist. But again, Cricket Zima, Candy Cricket, when she said her name was Cricket Zima, I'm like, that's an interesting name. But again, the 3 things that I look for, plus the bonus one, is how simple is the product, how effective is the product. Again, $2.75 million valuation. I would imagine that it has some sales. A lot of times the sales as well as the reviews can go to show you how effective the product is. And then what's the market like? Now, we all know kids, to the extent that you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, number one, giving the kid candy as well as keeping them entertained. I can tell this is going to be a hot spot, and I can see this thing being like a franchise model, kind of popping up in different states, different cities throughout the country. I'm not sure what she said the first one or the original location is, and I actually like the candypreneur. I think that's pretty cool too. And then again, talking about the market, as I said before, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, being able to kind of provide the kids candy as well as kind of keep them entertained. And the fact that you have all these things, all these activities that they can do where they're kind of dealing with slime and this and that, and it's all edible, so it's safe as well as entertaining. Kids will eat this thing up all day, pun intended. And then the last thing is IP. Is Cricket Zima protecting the intellectual property? I looked it up while she was giving her pitch. She has multiple trademarks, kind of various names of Cricket Candy. So shouts out to Cricket Zima. That's going to be interesting saying that name throughout the show. Shouts out to her for that. Now, this would be interesting on whether or not she has other trademarks, whether it's trade secrets, patents, or copyrights. We'll kind of see as we get off into the pitch. And I'm kind of looking at this in real time and kind of seeing what's happening. So again, some housekeeping items before we get back to the pitch. My mic sounds a little off. I'm not sure why is that. Hopefully it's testing. I'm not sure. There you go. Sounds a lot better now. Hopefully it wasn't too bad early on. Some housekeeping items before as I get back to the show here. Please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. I just made a post where I'm kind of looking at doing some mastermind events. So go check out that and hit that subscribe button, as well as check out the ebook that I have in the actual description section that kind of talks about the ebook is called Got IP, and it kind of goes from, you have an ideal all the way up to monetizing that ideal. It's interwoven with stories from the interviews I've done on this channel, over 100 interviews. A lot of those interviews have been Shark Tank guests, so it's kind of real life stories interwoven throughout the ebook that kind of hammer home different points that I am making in the book. So go check out that, and let's get back to it here. See if Cricket Zima gets a deal. Let's go.
My little candy crafters, you guys can be excused right now.
Grown folks talking.
See you later, Josh. See you later, Morgan.
Not going nowhere.
Thanks, Pepper.
So, Cricket, what's proprietary about this other than your enthusiasm?
So basically, in the last 2 years, I've created a candy crafting brand, but it's content as well as location-based entertainment.
All right, walk us through how you're selling this brand.
We're online selling these kits right now on Amazon and in our store.
How much is in the physical location and how much is in kits?
Right. So right now, our physical location has the most revenue generating.
What percentage?
We have, I would say, 90 or 80% right now.
And how much is that?
So to date, we've sold 100,000 in the kits. And this is one of the reasons why I'm here today.
100,000 in the kits, and how much in the
what period of
stores?
time?
In about a year and a half.
Okay.
And how much in the store?
In the store, we've made, well, so our total sales to date is 1.7 million.
Good.
Wow.
Our parties at the store, they bring in about 500,000 per year
In the store.
in the
So
store.
that's where you
Wednesday,
get most
Thursday,
of your
Friday.
revenue, though.
Yeah,
Like
the
birthday
weekends
parties
are
and the
party
such.
gangbusters.
Right,
We
right,
have
right.
3 parties every Saturday, every Sunday. My background is in events.
You're really an event space.
That's where we're making the majority of our income
how do
right
you-
now,
Cricket,
which is
how are you
why we're
gonna s-
actually taking this to franchise right now. We're currently working with a franchise agency. We will be launching
I caught it.
sales opportunities for the franchises in January.
I loved the idea when you came out. The more you tell me about it, the less I love it.
Mm.
Because I'm not clear what business you're pitching us. Are you pitching us a kit business? Are you pitching us a franchise business? What are you pitching?
So it's a brand overall. One of the reasons I'm here is because I am, my bandwidth is tapped. I have taken this brand as far as I
It's
can
just
for
you
now.
by yourself? That's it?
Yeah, pretty much.
What were your sales last month all in?
I don't know offhand.
Gotta know them
You're
numbers.
setting yourself up for real problems. You have one location, right?
Yes.
How can you franchise when you've only learned how to run one location and you're not even sure what your revenues are going to be in the current month? When you're selling a franchise to somebody who has an expectation that you already got this locked down solid.
Numbers are not my strong suit. Give me words, give me images.
Okay, that's not what I asked.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's why
I'm
I
a
don't know
franchisee,
offhand.
right? Make me money. How are you going to do that?
So the franchise opportunities will bring in about $350,000 per year.
How do you know that?
Yeah, but Cricket,
I'm
you're
working with a professional franchise agency. They did our projections, and I actually pared it down because I'm the riskiest conservative you'll ever meet.
You've already paid somebody money to start to discuss franchising with you.
Which is also expensive.
Which is also expensive, and you're not sure what your franchisees can make. You should do one, get that to work, then do another one in New York, and then when you get to 5 or 6 and you have the formula down, you can talk about the rest. But I don't think you're organized, so for those reasons, I'm out.
And as Mark goes out, I'm going to stop in. And he made some good points, man. And that's why one of the things that I love about coming on Shark Tank or kind of businesses going on Shark Tank is they can kind of help you get organized a little bit. When she was giving her pitch, I'm like, hey, this is interesting. But then as she's talking, it seems like she's in an event space. So is this kind of dealing with events planning? She talked about the kits and being able to kind of sell those individually. And she's selling the kits. And then she kind of threw out this franchise model, which I kind of called that at the beginning. So it's like, okay, what is it that we're doing? It seems like she's like, hey, we're doing it all. And a lot of times the Sharks are like, hey, man, we have to focus on one and then kind of build off of that, which kind of leads me to a question for you guys. What do you think is going to be the biggest revenue for her? Is it going to be the kits? Is it going to be the franchising? Or is it going to be the event planning? I actually like the kits myself because you can kind of retail that. You can also sell those on Amazon. And it seems like from what she's saying, 500,000 came as a result of selling the kits. So I actually like the kits. I think the franchising model, and only has one store, she's a ways away from being able to kind of really understand that, which is interesting as to the fact that she hired somebody with the franchise or to kind of get the numbers on a franchise. And I think she's maybe a ways away from that. And then kind of the event planning, going to these kind of different parties and stuff like that. I don't know. I think that's maybe an ancillary thing. Again, that's going to be manpower, things of that sort. I don't think that's going to be, I think it can make you some money, but it's going to take a lot of manpower to kind of go and kind of do those event planning, going to different events and kind of bring in the kits and stuff like that. I think selling the kits on its own is kind of the number one thing. This whole event planning and kind of going to these different functions with the kids, I think that's kind of just comes with the territory when you can do it here or there. Then a franchising, in my opinion, is later down the line. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this. And hey, you have to know the numbers. If you have one store, and whether or not you're a history major, event planning, or you're a mathematician, if you don't know what your numbers did or your store or collectively you did last month, yet you're trying to franchise this thing, something has to give. Something has to give. So those are my initial thoughts. Let's pull it back up and see if one of the other Sharks comes save the day. It's not looking good. I thought we were good from the initial pitch, but it seems like things have took a turn for the worse quickly. Let's go.
Cricket, what did you do last year, roughly?
So last year we made Can I cheat sheet it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
just-
Thank you.
Just roughly.
So in 22, 300,000, 23, 730,000.
Okay, I got it. So look, Cricket, there's a lot of stuff going on here. This has a bunch of verticals in it. Franchising, forget about it. You're too small. You don't make enough money to get anybody interested in franchising. This is not for me.
In my
Cricket.
mind, there
Cricket,
are
we
three
didn't hear the numbers. Just want to go back to that.
Yeah, what
You
does this
did.
cost?
Yeah,
So it costs $39.99.
to sell.
They sold like crazy. We've been on the Today Show twice. Every time I've been on,
What does it cost
they
you?
just
What does it cost you to make
our
it?
first run was $17. Our run right now is $13.
What I would like to focus on just for a minute, because I might have an interest.
Decent margins.
How confident are you that you could sell franchises?
Very confident.
Why?
Literally every single person that walks into the store goes wild for it. It's so
Mark is not
fun.
buying it.
Kids come in, parents come in. I mean, eyes just light up, adult and kid alike.
And again, tell me how much money you made last year just from the store sales. I got a little confused on your numbers.
So we make about $500,000 a year in the parties.
And what's your overhead for that store?
So we
And
have a
everything
margin
else?
of about $3,500 per party.
Really, but in the end of the year, how much
But how
money
profitable were
did you
you?
put in your pocket? Did you put in your pocket?
Personally, I take a very modest salary.
What money did
But
you
what
make?
was the profit?
What
How
was
much?
your profit
did
at
the
the end of the
business
day?
make?
Take out the expenses, the cost of the party, the cost of the goods and candies
The
served.
personnel?
What did you net at the end of the day?
$3,500 per party.
No,
What-
no.
What was
sorry.
it per
Out of
year?
the 500,000 for the year, what did you net at the end of the day?
Look at your cheat sheet.
Thank you. I'm sorry, numbers just aren't my thing. So the question again was
How much money did you make?
on parties.
No one
That's
asked
what
you
you
it this
brought
way,
in.
Cricket. This is easier. What was your profit on the $500,000 in sales you made?
That's what we're asking.
That's what we asked her.
I
She
don't
doesn't
think
know.
anybody's asking her that.
I don't know the number offhand.
Do you understand why numbers would matter in the Shark Tank?
100%.
Robert, what are you going to do?
Look, I'm really disappointed. I was so excited by this. I mean, I think you're really onto something. I know it's hard, but the smaller you are, the narrower the focus. And you're trying to run 3 businesses. They're really not related. I'm out.
I happen to think you're probably very good at your business. I love your attitude and enthusiasm. But I don't see a clear road to making money here. I don't think you're clear on it. And I don't like my money going where it will never come back. I'm out. I wish you luck, though.
Cricket, listen. It's not easy to come in here and face us and pitch your idea or your product, but you didn't know your numbers. You had your cheat sheet, but you really should study and know, because everybody that comes in here, you can tell they've practiced this 100 times, right? You need to find a good partner who has a very strong background in all the things that you're weak in, and you can hire someone. Cute idea, but I'm sorry, I'm out.
I'm sad to hear that.
Good luck, Cricket. Good luck, Cricket.
Sorry.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
the opportunity.
Good luck.
As an entrepreneur, you learn to just be resilient. Advice I'd have for other entrepreneurs, just because a handful of people don't believe in your ideas, or maybe you weren't eloquent enough, or maybe you're just not strong at numbers, especially under the pressure, it doesn't mean you have a bad business, doesn't mean you have a bad future. It just means in that moment, those people didn't get it.
Yeah, Lynn, I want to bring it back on myself because I kind of disagree with Cricket a little bit. I think they actually like the ideal. Again, I'm with Mr. Wonderful in terms of I think the franchising, that's kind of a distant future. But I think all of them like the ideal. But if you're coming to me and saying, hey, be an investor, and you're valuing the company at $2.75 million, and investors like, okay, cool, that's fair. How am I going to make money on the business if I give you this money? You're not able to explain the numbers and therefore kind of project how that person is going to make money. I don't think it has anything to do with the person or the business. It's just kind of knowing the numbers. And I think Lori gave great advice. And I often say that as well when I'm kind of talking through these videos as well as interviewing people is, hey, if you're not good at numbers or if you're not a creative person, then you need to hire somebody who's going to complement you well such that, because again, a business is a lot of moving parts. You're dealing with manufacturing, you're dealing with marketing, you're dealing with engineering, you're dealing with a lot of different things. And it's rare that one person is good at all those different things. Again, hey, I'm kind of doing these reaction videos, getting on camera, speaking my mind, kind of talking about intellectual property. But you know, in terms of editing and all those things that kind of come on the backside of that, that's not my area. So I have somebody that helps me out with that. And I think this is a good learning lesson. I think this overall episode was just a learning lesson of, hey, number one, know your numbers. Number two, kind of focus on a particular thing and kind of build from that. And then number three, what would I say was number three? Know your numbers and just being able to hire people that complement your skill set so that you can kind of really kind of go to the next level with regard to business. So those are kind of my kind of initial thoughts on it. Let's pull up the website here really quickly. It seems like she's doing some great things. She talked about, I think, being on Good Morning America or one of those morning shows a number of times. And it seems like she's selling a decent amount of it. And you're dealing, like I said, killing two birds with one stone with regard to kids and candy and being creative, entertainment. I actually like the website here, Candy Kits. I mean, I think the candy kits are that. Hey, that's the business right there. The candy kits are the business. This franchising and event planning, I think that's a distant second. Look at that Candyland. I would imagine that they got a license from Candyland or whoever owns that trademark Candyland to be able to do that. Again, there you go. Good Morning America a number of times, or the Today Show, it looks like, selling it. Again, Blippy, I would imagine that they are licensed in that trademark name, Blippy. And again, I didn't see anything as it relates to trade secrets, patents, things of that sort. But again, maybe the model in and of itself, I think, is something that, you know, is proprietary, but nothing that you're filing with a governmental body to protect patents or anything like that, at least kind of from what I'm seeing. So let me know what you guys think, man. This was an interesting one. Unfortunately, man, hey, this episode started good as far as season 16 episode, 19 with. We got a deal, and then the last two, this one and the one before, seems like we've kind of gotten off the rails. So let's see if we can end on a great note with this fourth and final pitch. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I've been loving your comments. Let me know if you actually use these kits or kind of met Cricket, Zima, and let me know that experience. It seems like a lot of you guys have been kind of swapping up these different or using these different products or services that have been on Shark Tank and loving it. And so let me know those comments. And as I talked about, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Please hit that subscribe button and go check out that ebook. Link is in the description. I'll catch you guys on the fourth and final pitch. We're going strong here, man. We're almost finished with season 16, season 16. So catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.